Welcome back to the Cryptoviser podcast. And in today's breaking news, something many of the people who've been watching my channel for a while should be not surprised about at all, is that we are now hearing that the Cardano developers have capitulated and Cardano. The community is now proposing a USDC integration on the Cardano blockchain. And this image that you're seeing on the screen, this is actually the thumbnail to this video that was posted a few months ago called USDC coming to Cardano, right here on the Cryptoviser podcast. And by the way, this podcast we upload every single day of the year to bring you the latest happening in the financial world. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. That way you never miss a new video every single day. And also give the video a free thumbs up because Cardano is not free, but thumbs up are always free. And so if you guys haven't seen this video, I would definitely recommend watching it because it will give you a little bit of insight into how this discussion about USDC on Cardano has evolved. Effectively, before 2024, there were zero Project Catalyst grant proposals in the pipeline for Cardano to implement USDC. A lot of the Cardano community were parroting that USDC can be frozen and that Charles didn't want to pay $100 million to get it integrated. And I told my viewers I believe that this was a nonsense excuse for not having USDC on the platform. I showed you extensive reporting that the CEO and founder of Circle, Jeremy Allaire, was actually congratulating and celebrating that Solana, as it was pumping 10x over the last 6 months or so from when I'm recording this video at the beginning of 2024, he was cheering it on and showing that USDC was the stable coin being used on Solana exclusively almost, with 98% and 90% in two different metrics on USDC usage on the Solana blockchain. And so a few days ago, I posted a video that was called Cardano Needs a Miracle. And in the Cardano Needs a Miracle video, basically I extensively discussed with all of you right here, USDC files, IPO, Cardano needs a miracle, it's really bad. And on that same day that video posted, and that video was essentially the last call for Cardano before this bull run. Because here's the deal, if Circle does, and they are, going IPO, what this means for Cardano is an even longer time frame before USDC is actually integrated. And currently, where we are in the cycle, with the fact that USDC already filed their IPO, it still may be too late for this cycle, but that doesn't mean it is. And that doesn't mean it isn't, it's never too late in the grand scheme, right? But at the end of the day, it may be too late for this cycle. But let's learn a little bit more and see what the community is saying about this. So Dan, who's a Cardano influencer, I guess you could call him, he said on X, by the way, again, the same day that this video was posted, Cardano needs a miracle. It's really bad. And I would definitely recommend watching that video as well. Well, all my videos here on the Cryptoviser podcast, and also give the video a free thumbs up. Anyway, Dan said on X, USDC on Cardano, it's time. I'm assembling a team. In this post, I'm going to explain why USDC on Cardano is a good thing, what I'm thinking about doing, and how you can help. Please like and share for the entire community to see. Now, the post continues saying, first, I adamantly believe that USDC should be implemented on Cardano. There's a debate around this, and we should always keep a healthy debate going. Now, let me pause here for 1 second, right? There is no debate, right? There has been no clear argument against having USDC on Cardano. People who say, well, USDC can freeze assets. Who gives a shit? Like literally, who gives a shit? Nobody. Zero people except for that person who's posting it. And they're probably the same person posting it over and over and over under different accounts. And by the way, the fact that USDC, now that we're seeing proposals go through, this was a perfect flush of the bots, because anybody over the last, 4 or 5 months since we've been discussing USDC on Cardano on this channel, any single person who wrote the word FUD in one of those videos or on a post, immediate block, permanent block. So we blocked a good portion of the bots, I think. But anyway, So there is no debate around whether USDC should be on Cardano or not. It's just, the debate is whether it should be paid for, whether Cardano should do it, whether USDC should do it, whether Charles Hoskinson should do it. But there's really no debate whether USDC should be on Cardano. Financially, return on investment wise, and return on technology wise, there is no argument against. It's saying, oh, they could freeze assets. That's not an argument against implementing it, like, period. And the thing is, in the video that I posted the other day, where Charles, we played an audio from Charles in his Twitter space where he was explaining that USDC wants a fee for implementing. And it's really not a fee. It's more of they have to hire people to develop this technology and then oversee it and make sure everything is good and compliant. And so Charles said in the audio that they would have to develop more technology on Cardano that would enable USDC to reverse transactions. He didn't say that that was the reason that they didn't want to do it was because they could reverse transactions. If 50% of the stake pool operators in the Cardano ecosystem, or let's be clear, 50% of the performing stake pools, so there's probably about 500 stake pools that are like highly performing on a consistent basis. So half of that, 250 of those stake pools that are highly performing and actually producing blocks, if they came together and wanted to reverse a transaction, effectively, why wouldn't they be able to? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but this could happen in Bitcoin. This could happen in Ethereum. I mean, it could happen with any ecosystem. Anyway, so again, there's no debate that USDC should be on Cardano. It's just nobody wanted to do it. Which I don't understand also. All these Project Catalyst proposals for NFT and a new NFT website, new NFT market. Guys, in videos that I'm going to be showing you as we move forward, it appears to me that the NFT craze is over. It seems to me that there may be the SEC's next target, right? The NFT ecosystem, because people did lose a lot of money. Are these securities? Are they not? I don't know. That's not for me to determine. But we've seen Twitter or X, they just removed NFT profile photos. There was another company recently, I forgot which one, that they are moving back away from the NFT integration. But anyway, there's no debate that USDC should be on Cardano. If you guys have any info on any debates that there are, like actual debates on why it shouldn't be, let me know down below. But anyway, we got a lot more to cover in today's video. This is a really important topic. And a lot of it, Dan is going to be covering in this post, but some of it he didn't cover in the post, and we're going to kind of elaborate on a little bit. And by the way, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments of the video. I want to know what your opinions are on this subject, because again, to date, I haven't seen any actual argument about why Cardano should not have USDC. But anyway, he says, in my view, this move would supercharge Cardano for the following reasons. One is wider adoption. Cardano technology is special. It's been a consistent top 10 over many years. But now it's time for an easy on-ramp for the masses to discover this. Clearly, he watches the Cryptoviser podcast and probably even watched all of my USDC videos involving Cardano, because this is exactly what we've been talking about. Two, interoperability and efficiency. Definitely watches the Cryptoviser podcast. Anyway, a simple connection bridging Cardano to other ecosystems and financial systems. This is what we've been talking about. This is what we've been talking about. It's not just the debate about USDC, it's the debate about interoperability. Why is there no interoperability? Because based on the Project Catalyst proposals that I've seen, Cardano is just an NFT platform. There's no interoperability. There's no need for the stable coins. They want to create their own stable. This is probably the most critical reason USDC needs to come on. It's an instant on-ramp, instant bridge to all of the other ecosystems in crypto. He says number three is increased use cases. DeFi on Cardano is already loaded with innovation, but integrating USDC will increase the velocity in which these innovations come to existence and the ease in which they are experienced by the masses. Four, and by the way, anyway, we'll continue. Four, market confidence. The addition of a reputable asset like USDC and the implementation by Circle can increase market confidence in Cardano. A more robust and trusted ecosystem will simply attract more traders and investors, contributing to liquidity. Guys, these are the most simple reasons, and this is literally what I've been saying for months, and these videos have gotten downvoted. People in the community have been vile, nasty, rude, disrespectful. Like I've said, I've had to block hundreds of accounts, right? Just for proposing the fact that Cardano should have USDC. Like, what entities are behind this resistance to USDC? And I don't mean Cardano entities. I mean, like, are these Ethereum maximalists or market manipulators that are just trying to make that the narrative so that nobody focuses on actual integration? Why wouldn't Cardano want to get in line with a regulated stable coin that is going to be the digital dollar? So the community has to think about that as well. The more they say, oh, well, we don't need that right now. We shouldn't do that. What if about the bridges? Like, we also are talking about this with the K parameter in the stake pool operations, as I've explained. The stake pool operators that are performing well, they don't want anything to change because they're doing well. It's just like any business, right? If the business is doing well, this is like you see Gordon Ramsay go into Kitchen Nightmares and people say, well, you know, Gordon Ramsay, people, they don't complain. And he's like, your restaurant is empty. Oh yeah, but our customers love our food. He's like, your restaurant is empty. And they're like, yeah, but you know, we've been here for 30 years. He's like, your restaurant is empty. All of those things don't matter anymore. Because your restaurant is empty. You know what I mean? And so this is the same exact thing. Anyway, and by the way, I'm going to be putting out a shorter version of this video, just kind of more straight to the point. This is really to kind of give my opinions and thoughts. And by the way, we have a lot more to cover outside of just Dan's post. So make sure you guys stick around. He says, I know that many argue this would make Cardano, I think he meant centralized, but I want to propose to you that if we're able to pull this off, this may be the exact event that actually brings more decentralization to Cardano. He said, here's why. Circle requires a fee to implement USDC, and there's a lot involved. Therefore, many people are hounding Charles Hoskinson to get it done. Dan says he 100% disagrees with this approach, trying to get Charles Hoskinson or IO Global to do this. He understands the thought, but he says it's time to think about this differently. Now, he's referring to a conversation that was on X. This is a snapshot from it where the user said, why can't IOHK or IO Global pay you for USDC? Charles, it seems like it should be a priority for onboarding more developers and users. 8 figures is a lot, but Cardano is a multi-billion-dollar asset. Charles responded saying, why should I pay? Why is it my responsibility? Please explain it to me like I'm 5. Now, here's the deal. I don't necessarily think it's Charles's job, right? Because again, like I've said, it's not just Charles that is not doing anything about it. No developer, no ecosystem participant, no investor, no influencer, nobody put in a proposal for this. Even a proposal, even if they didn't have the capacity to do it, like to actually get it implemented and get, you know, the partnerships involved, nobody even proposed it. Not one person. And by the way, there's going to be people who say, Cryptoviser, why didn't you propose it? I'm going to explain to you why I didn't propose it. Number 1, it's not my job. Number 2, I don't hold any ADA. Number 3, I am looking at these markets from an investor perspective. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe that's not what you're doing. That's fine. But that's how I am viewing these markets. I don't work for Cardano. I don't work for IO Global. I don't work for the community. I get a lot of hate from the community, in fact. Why would I go and do that? Why would I go and waste my time doing it when the developers, the people who have like literally financial incentives, there's people with 100% of their wealth in Cardano, 100% of their wealth in Cardano. And these people just sitting around like, nah, we don't need USDC. The NFTs will be fine. You know, we'll do fine in the future with NFTs. We don't need USDC. We don't need BlackRock. We don't need venture capitalists. And to me, that's like when you go to a job interview. It's not only the job interviewing you, you're supposed to be interviewing the job. Because if you're not going to like working there, why would you accept the job? If you're not going to get paid what you think you should get paid, why would you work there? And so somebody said to another user on X, another like crypto, I don't know, influencer or account, Vanessa Harris, she was writing about Cardano and USDC, and then there was a conversation, and you know, basically she said like, why hasn't anybody put a proposal in? And somebody said to her, oh, well, you can do it. And she wrote, I think you've overestimated the amount of effort I'm willing to go through to improve Cardano. I hope we can both admit that Charles does and should have a different level of attachment to the success of Cardano than random folks like myself. Basically, she's saying that Charles should be at least pushing this along, right? He doesn't have to pay for it. He doesn't have to do it. But like if Charles made an AMA and said, you know, we should probably have USDC on Cardano, I'm sure that some of the community would start doing it, right? But I don't think it's Charles's job. That's to 100%. But this top part, right? It's not my job. If I think that like a company or a crypto project or developers should do something and they're not doing it, I can suggest it to them, which I've done for the past 5 or so months on this channel. And it was interesting that even though I talked about it, other people talked about it for over a year now with USDC. Actually, it's really more than a year, the overall conversation. Not one developer did this. Not one person with 100% of their net worth, supposedly, in ADA did this to improve that net worth. To me, that told me that this is not investable. Because if the people who have 100% of their net worth in the asset are not willing to do even the bare minimum to increase not only the valuation, but the technology, the interoperability, all the things that we just covered, why would I go and do it? Why would I go and try to make their life easier and better when I have no skin in the game for it and they have all the skin in the game? That doesn't make any sense. So I am very happy to see that Dan is doing this. I don't know him personally. We've never actually talked. But I cheer this on and I applaud the effort. Obviously, it's going to be debated probably for ages whether they did this based on my video or not. Probably because of the video. He decided to do this, and probably because of some of the back and forth with Charles, right? Again, it's not Charles's job, but again, nobody, not one developer, not one stake pool operator, not one person with 100% of their net worth in Cardano, nobody did it. That to me, that was not a very good sign from an investability standpoint. And so Dan said he's working on the steps towards a catalyst proposal. That's the grant program from the Cardano Treasury, which we've talked about extensively. And we've talked about people saying that Circle wants, 8 figures. That's too much money. And I'm like, we just literally paid in September $12.5 million, 50 million ADA to 200 projects, and none of them have deployed. No value of return on investment to the ecosystem. And that's coming out of your pocket because they're devaluing the coins in your wallet as they're paying out these projects that are not deploying anything. And I think that even if 50 million ADA had to go to getting USDC on Cardano, that's probably a significantly better investment for the Cardano ecosystem than all of the proposals combined that have been funded through Cardano, Project Catalyst. So yeah, Cardano does have the money for this. But again, they would rather spend the money, let's make another NFT website. It's like, guys, NFTs are done, in my view. And you guys are going to say I'm wrong when the NFT prices go up and stuff like that. But trust me, BlackRock is not getting into the NFT game. Anyway, so he says he's serious. He's going to do this. He said he can seize the headlines. Cardano takes massive step towards decentralization as the community onboards USDC. But the thing is this going to be done in time? Because when I'm recording this in the middle of January, the first review round of proposals are underway in Project Catalyst. So they have to get this proposal reviewed, and kind of approved or pushed through the next step. Maybe they'll get a push through the next step anyway, because this is such a big proposal. But if they don't get it done now, then we're going to have to wait 3 or 4 more months till the next Project Catalyst proposal, which means that they're not going to get money to get this starting going for at least 6 months. And that's just to get the conversations going. I don't know how they're going to do this. I would suggest they need to have a conversation with Jeremy Allaire, like immediately. Jeremy, how much is this going to cost? Just let us know. This is what we're going to do. We're going to get it done. We're going to work with IO Global. We're going to work with Cardano Foundation. We're going to work with some of the developers. We're going to get this done. And what is the time frame? Now, obviously, they may not be able to, release that kind of info. Like, I would imagine any developments we would probably be able to see on GitHub in the future, but they may not be able to talk about too much about that integration beforehand. But then again, is this going to be done in time? Because in my view, based on the previous cycles, Cardano is going to peak around or start really, really pumping at the beginning of 2025. So we have about a year. If they can do this within a year, this will be perfect timing. And this will, in my view, 100%. And again, this is not financial advice. This is just my opinion and prediction. I could be wrong. Don't make investment choices based on what I say. Do your own research. But I would imagine that we would be able to pump 10x and just based once USDC, just on the speculation of USDC, and then some months after as as the USDC liquidity enters the Cardano ecosystem. There may be a little bit of a buffer. There's going to be some speculative pump, I would imagine, and then a little bit of a buffer after it deploys until we start to see the real ramp up in the price of Cardano. But I think that this is extremely positive. Another user on X, Plutus Staking, who's a stake pool operator, said, as Jarek and Dan mentioned, onboarding USDC to Cardano is net positive for the space. This partnership will provide huge capital inflows to Cardano, which equals more development potential. Many dApps avoid Cardano because of low liquidity, and this would change overnight with USDC. I agree. Again, it's very interesting that now they're all supporting it, right? But over the last 5 months, year, nobody was really supporting this kind of conversation or proposal. The other thing to keep in mind is, like, who is financially benefiting from USDC not being on Cardano? All of the proposals that are getting funded and deploying nonsense stuff, or saying they're going to deploy nonsense, this is sucking value, sucking development, and really sucking time out of Cardano. And again, like I said, this is the point where USDC is passing Cardano in the race, and they're about to turn around and wave goodbye. And so Cardano has a very, very limited time to get this done. Now, this user continued saying existing stablecoin issuers should embrace this venture. As users entering USDC, they can also exit onto Cardano-based stablecoins. It's up to the individual teams to capture that market share. And by the way, these stablecoin projects, they are incentivized to not allow USDC on Cardano. They're incentivized by that. Because if USDC is not on Cardano, all the money, regardless if it's less money than it would be with USDC, all that money, all those fees, all that, the capital, it flows into those projects, so they make money on it. So this is an existential threat to their business model. But that doesn't mean that that is a good reason to block USDC on Cardano. And that's exactly what this user is saying here, that these projects need to embrace it because it may hurt in the short period of time. But in the long, first of all, I don't even know why anybody's trying to create stablecoin projects to begin with. I mean, it's really, really ridiculous. And it's not really like I'm going to get rich on this venture, right? Compared to like other things in the crypto space. So I really don't understand why there's even a push. There's nothing exciting about stablecoins. Like, let Circle do that shit. Like, let them do it. Let them do the boring stuff that literally maybe 5% you can get in interest. But like the mechanism itself, there's nothing exciting about a stablecoin. Like nothing. And people in the Cardano ecosystem for the last year have been trying to, oh, well, what about this stablecoin? What about this stable? It's like literally nobody gives a shit. If you have 100 users and there's 1 billion users in crypto or 500 million users in crypto worldwide, 100 users is zero. It's nothing, you know? And so that's the way we have to look at it. At least that's the way I look at it as an investor, right? It's nothing personal. It's just like, it is what it is. Anyway, this other user from one of Cardano's new trading platforms called Axo Trade, I think it's a DEX, he has a very different outlook than the stablecoins on Cardano. He says USDC has incredible volume and history maintaining its peg. Having it on Cardano means so much more trading. Much more trading means much more activity on chain. Much more activity on chain means more demand. Demand means more development. It'd be incredible for this to happen. Duh, right? But Axo, they are financially incentivized for USDC to come on the platform. Because of all these reasons, that will increase the business model for Axo. You guys understand? Like, this is how business works, and that's the issue with governance. And that's the issue with governance even in our society, right? Because businesses then influence and they give money to these politicians, and then the politicians do what they want, which may not be right for what is right for the people and for the general ecosystem. And that we have to be really careful about in crypto. And so when you're against something in crypto, like against a proposal, or even for a proposal, whether it's USDC or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. If you're for or against it, you need to understand what your bias is and what the other side's bias is. Why are they on the opposite wavelength as you in terms of whether this proposal should go through or not? What does it mean for them? And when you guys understand this, it makes things a lot clearer, right? This is why I always say, like, don't get attached to your assets. Because if you get attached to your assets, you miss these bigger picture things that can help you make better decisions from your financial portfolio. But guys, there was literally never a doubt in my mind. Like, why would I be making these videos just to bitch about USDC not being on Cardano? Again, I hold 0 Cardano. I want the Cardano ecosystem to succeed. And if they can get USDC on Cardano, and if it seems like that is the path that we're going to see moving forward over the next 6 months or so, Cardano, from my investment thesis, will probably go from an uninvestable asset to an investable asset. And I think that 10x pump that we saw in Solana could potentially be repeated with Cardano. Not financial advice. I could be wrong. That's just my opinion. So I want to know what you guys think about this. Again, Dan, great job. I think this is a very good move forward. I'm glad that you stepped up to do this. Out of every developer, every user, every person with 100% net worth in Cardano, just sitting by saying, well, we don't need Cardano. There'll be a proposal. And it's like, we're literally sending out tens of millions of dollars to create NFT projects. And nobody's using those. Anyway, you guys kind of get the point. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments of the video. Don't forget to give the video a free thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Invest responsibly. Do your own research, and as always, crypto on.